Start the matches. There we go. Psyduck playing red, so he's the first to play the jack. And it appears that he's going to play a really short game. 3 meters, very close from the sideline. It's always interesting. It means that there's less space around the jack because on one side you can not do a lot because it's the sideline, and when the balls touch the sideline they're out. And there's a possibility of the jack going out of bounds if somebody hits it, which puts the jack back on the cross in the middle of the court. So that's a tactical option that appears when the jack is close from the sideline. Great first ball from Roman. That must be definitely what he was hoping for. And that gives immediately a challenge to Daniel. Nice to start a game like that. Both athletes using the underarm throwing technique, which means that the balls mostly roll over the court, and that they can use that shot to open up situations if they can give enough speed to the ball. Most athletes in BC1 don't generate a huge speed, which is typical for the class. Athletes in BC2 normally can throw a bit faster. But these athletes should be able to move the balls a little bit. You see that Daniel was trying here. He did manage to hit the red, but the ball didn't have enough speed to really move anything. He can try again. He can also decide to place a ball there, start pushing a bit and try to get to the jack like that. Yeah, it seems like he's doing that. So he starts out carefully, and with his style of play, I think that's a good decision. He doesn't have a lot of speed in his arm, so opening it up is difficult. If you can, it's definitely the best option. But if you cannot, you don't want to waste a lot of balls on that and then end up with a poor defense. So it's better to build up the situation, play some balls next to the red, next to the jack, push a little bit. Maybe you will come to a scoring position and give some challenge to your opponent. And if not, at least you have a good situation to control damage and maybe lose by 1 point, 2, but not start with a big score for your opponent, because that's putting a lot of pressure on the rest of your game. Yeah, almost got there. He did actually touch the jack. Ball came off. A little bit too much speed, but that ball is going to help him to stop the next one if it's a bit too hard. So it's a useful ball. 3 more, so he can build a bit there. And that one misdirection. We saw a little bit of hesitation just before the throw. From experience, you see that it's better to stop your shot, prepare and try again. There was plenty of time. He decided to push through, and then with the tension in the arm, a lot of times you lose direction and you get a ball like that, which is pretty much a lost ball. Yeah, that's a nice shot. He blocks the the space to the scoring area that was there in the side of the jack. And now we will try to get one there to protect that ball, to maybe close that gap that's still there to the red. Yeah, exactly like that. Push the blue one a little bit more so that now the scoring area is really, really small. It's a good shot. There are some possibilities to score, but it's not very easy and not completely without risk. In the left side we see a blue ball. If Saidak can go and let his ball bounce off that one, it could give him a point. He can also decide to push the blue one that's closest to the jack. It's not completely without risk because it's probably going to touch the jack. So you need to make sure that it has a lot of force. But if he could get rid of that ball, he would create some space for himself. I'm not sure if we could go through the air on the jack. I guess not, but let's see what he has in mind. Oh, yeah, he went for it. He probably wanted to get straight onto the jack. Threw it very high in the air. And it was a bit too short to do that, but it bounced off, I guess, a little bit luckily, and fell in exactly in the gap that was there. Which means now he's scoring 2. The question is now how to proceed. There's not a lot of space. Of course, he could try to do something like that again, but it's not without risk, because now that blue ball that's close from the jack with a little push would squeeze in between the reds, and blue would be scoring. And we already have 2, and you could go to -1. That's quite a lot to lose. So I'm not sure if he's willing to take that risk. And hitting the jack is also less attractive. If it would move out of bounds, you could score 3 if every ball is perfect. But since he already has 2, the win is not really big anymore, and the risk is there. So I would not be surprised if he decides to not play his remaining balls and take the 2 points. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Referee tells 2 red. Kvist can come to check. Not asking for a measurement, because it's really easy to see. So 2 points for red in the first end. Nice start for Roman Saidak from the Czech Republic. He already won his first game, so he's in a comfortable position. Kvist will need to win this game if he wants to pass to the next round. So he's up for a challenge, but still 3 ends to go, so everything to play for, of course. Can have a quick look on the other courts. The BC3 games are all still in the first end. On court 5, we have BC1, Daniel Perez from Netherlands against Riccardo Zanella from Italy, and the Italian is leading 1-0. And for the rest, we don't have any results yet. All the ends are still in play. So we will need to wait a little bit before that. There seems to be a small issue with the timing computer, so the referee is trying to solve that, which means we need to wait a little bit before we can start the second end. Let's see if we already have any results from other courts. Yeah, on court 8, Thomas Kral from Slovakia took a 1-0 lead over Serafin Rodriguez from Spain. And the BC3 matches are still in the first end, so no updates from there. And it looks like everything is solved. And we're gonna move on to the second end. Daniel Quist can start that end. Playing blue. Usually we see that at least use the time between the ends to already be in their starting position to not lose any time. He decided to wait a bit, but there we go. Seems to be playing a short jack as well. Yeah, there it is. Around 3 meters, just over the V line. Safe distance from the sideline. At least in this type of game with these opponents. The faster throwing BC1s and definitely the BC2s could pretty easily knock this jack out of bounds. So we see that those at least tend to play a little bit more to the middle so that your jack doesn't end up on the cross right away. Nice first shot. The distance to the jack is quite big, but it's blocking his opponent's line pretty much. He may have a view to a part of the jack. We see him going back in his box. That means that the blue is blocking him a bit. He's right-handed, so he should have a line to the jack. But a lot of times, at least don't really like this type of balls. And certainly later in the end, he's going to be bothered by it because it takes the right half of the jack and the area behind it from the range where he can play. That one was a bit short and also not really with the right direction. Can try again. Yeah, and then you see that he needs to avoid those balls a little bit. He gets closer to the jack, but a very open situation for Quist. Nice gap from the red and the blue. So even if the ball is not completely in the right directions, those balls can help to still get to the jack. So nice situation for him. See if he can take advantage of it. No, that one was not in the right direction and also seemed to have a bit too much speed. Not sure what he was trying to accomplish there. Situation didn't really change, so can try again. Yeah, that ball had the right direction, but it was way too fast. Really pushing the jack and jumping off. So not a lot of speed control there for Daniel. So Roman Sadak can try again. Still not a super easy situation, but now his own red ball is helping him a bit. So he does seem to have a gap to get there. Bumped again in those balls that are there from the beginning. Although he seems to have the line, apparently they bother him. He could go back a bit in his box. Probably make the shot a bit easier. But apparently he's confident from where he is. This ball is too much to the left. So now we are getting like a corridor of balls in the left and right side. And the whole corridor leads up to the jack. It's just a question who is going to put a ball there first. And probably that person will win the end. Sadak has 2 balls left. Kvist has 3. Bumping again against those starting balls, which means now he's pretty much blocked. But he could push that ball. And a lot of times when you push a ball in a situation like this, the ball that you throw will jump over it and do something useful as well. Let's see if he dares to go for that. Yeah, he tries to push, but it just doesn't work out. Didn't really have the speed. So there are definitely a lot of balls in front. But blue is scoring. Nothing is really close to the jack, and there's some space. So curious to see what Kvist can do here. Let's kind of have a look. That's always a good idea in situations like this. Get a good understanding of the exact space that you have. Because we sometimes see the overhead camera where we can see it very well, but the athletes don't have that view. But by going to look on court, you do have that understanding. It's parking the right side of his box. So he's probably going to use the blue ball that is already scoring. And if he can get to that ball, maybe get a bit to the inside of the ball, then he can score more points. There's plenty of space. It's not an easy shot because he will need to pass the red balls pretty tightly. Not really a risk there. And he could also try to let a ball jump over the red barrier. But I'm not sure if he's capable of that and if he has the confidence to do that. Let's see. Well, he actually tried it. But it comes with a risk. And that didn't work out for him very well. Hitting exactly the red that was in front, and now it seems that red is scoring 2. So quite a risky decision there. Now he needs to solve it. There is a blue ball to push. It's pretty far away. Not sure if that's really a realistic possibility. He could go through the air again. If he can hit the jack, then he's out of trouble, because on the back side of the jack there's only blue balls. Well, he will need to move something here. Yeah, tries again. First hitting the blue and then the jack. Interesting shot. Moving a few balls, and now at least the score went down to 1 for red. So it's already a bit better for him. And he didn't have really time to throw his last ball, so that was a very hasty shot. And he ends up 1 for red, and that's a bummer for him. He was scoring 1, had the option to score more. And now it's a point for red, going to 3-0. So difficult situation for Quist, but 2 ends to go, so still possibilities. So 3-0 in this game. Saida comfortably leading. He already won the first game, as I mentioned before. So he's in a good position to win this pool. Only one other athlete in the pool, so with 2 wins, you are always a pool winner. He can start the 3rd end now, and Quist needs to win this game to stay in the competition. So he will definitely need to win this end. If he can do that, then he still has a lot of possibilities to get back in his own end. But losing this end will mean at least a 4-point gap, and that is usually too much to overcome in only one end. So we'll need to take some risks if necessary. Let's first see how Saidak can start here. Time is already running. He's in the back of his box, which is pretty unusual when playing the jack. Usually you go to the front because you're closer to the court. He's going to play it long. Nice for a change. Checking us around 7.5 meters. And now he actually comes forward to play his first colored ball. Takes his time for the shot. Already more than a minute past. Which means he will need to move on a bit more with his other balls. Ah, that's a fantastic first shot. Great ball. Perfectly placed in front of the jack. Seems to be touching or almost touching it. And yeah, minimal gap between the red and the white, but great ball. Exactly in front of Daniel Quist. As I said, he needs to win this end to stay in the competition, but that's almost an impossible challenge given his physical abilities. He will not be able to really remove that red, so the only thing he can try to do is get a ball close from there, push it a little bit, and maybe get closer to the jack. But it's a very, very tough spot. But let's see if he can surprise us. Not with that first one. Well, those balls are not really doing it. This is a bit better one. I'm still far away from a scoring position, but at least he got something in the neighborhood of the white and red ball. We'll keep trying. Oh, that one is too short and blocking him a bit. That doesn't make it any easier. He's probably going to be happy if he can get something more in front. Maybe try to keep the damage at 1 point for red, which would still give him some chance to fight for it in his own end. Given how the game has gone until now, it's not really in the line of expectation that Daniel can turn this over, but in Boccia you never know. Athletes can suddenly become a bit nervous, miss a few shots, and then a good ball can make all the difference. So let's see if he can reinforce his defense a little bit here. Now bumps into that previous shot. So he does have a ball relatively close from the jack, at least at this distance. There are some balls in front. It would be nice if that last ball can defend another line, so that Saidak has a lot of stuff in front of him. That's not doing it. Pretty useless ball, that last one. So there's an opportunity to score. Not very easy. A lot of stuff in front. But all to play for. For those who just recently joined the stream, we're in a game of BC1 male. Quist against Saidak. Saidak, the Czech Republic player, playing red, that you see now. In this pool is a pool of 3. The third athlete is Bart van der Veen from the Netherlands. Both athletes already played him. Saidak won in a very close game 5-4. 3-2, and Quist lost 5-4. So that means that the winner of this game will pass to the next round, and the loser of the game will be out of the competition, and very most likely Bart is going to progress to the next round as the second in this pool. There's a hypothetical option where that wouldn't happen, but that's only if Quist beats Saidak with 1 point and a pretty big score, and it's really not what we're looking at right now. So forget that. Let's just focus on this game. And we assume that the athletes from the Netherlands is going to pass second in this group. Just saw a nice shot from Saidak. He pushed the blue ball, giving him a bit more space to score. That one makes it more difficult. Also blocking the area to get again to the blue to get rid of it. Let's see what he has in mind. Maybe he can still get there. No, that's not doing it. I think it's going to be difficult to make anything happen here. May need to go all the way through the air. I'm not sure if he's able to make that distance. I think he's indicating the referee that he wants to stop playing. So I'm not going to throw his remaining balls. Yeah, his assistant puts them out of the box, which means that we're going to end this end here with 1 point for red. Yeah, both athletes agreed to that. No need to come to see the situation. So it's 1 red, and that makes the score 4 for red and 0 for blue. So Daniel Quist needs a little miracle here. He needs 4 points to get to a tiebreak. But even winning in a tiebreak would not get him to the next round. So he will need to make 5 points here to progress, which is quite a challenging task. But let's see. We've seen stranger things. He will definitely need a good first shot. See if he can run Saidak out of balls, and then there's always a possibility. I can give you an update on the other courts. Let's see. Get all the names. BC3 female Marcela Sermakova is leading 1-0 to Penelope Karampaidu. We have Hava Alyut from Turkey. She's leading 3-0 against Robin McBride from Great Britain after 2 ends. A surprise on court 5. Italian athlete Riccardo Zanella beat Daniel Perez from the Netherlands, who is one of the top BC1s in the world, but 5-3 for the Italian. So a very nice result for him, winning the group. Daniel will pass to the next round as second in the group. And on court 8, there's a very close game going on between Thomas Kral and Serafino Rodriguez. After 3 ends, the score is 3-3. So we will keep you posted about that game for sure. In that pool, Rodriguez already lost a game and Kral won a game, so there are still a lot of possibilities, but Rodriguez will need a good score in the last end to progress. We'll get back to this game that we're seeing right now. First ball of Chris was played too hard. Ends up behind the check. So Sajdak has an open jack to play for. Also missing it. And it's Quist again. Quist also misses it, but it did get closer than the red ball, so it's Sajdak again. He pretty much needs one good ball to secure this game. Let's see if it's gonna be this one. And again a miss. Not really a lot of good balls this end so far. All balls are in poor direction. No, played a bit too hard. A lot of balls getting around the jack. For Sajdak it's no problem. As long as Quist is playing shots that are not scoring, he's going to win the game. And if Quist wants something, it's really about time that he starts doing it. Hitting the jack, but again with too much speed. So it ends up behind the situation. That ball misses direction. So he only has two left. Quick update on the match on court 8 between Kral from Slovakia and Rodriguez from Spain. Kral won the last end 4-3, so he wins this group. And it means that he will play Daniel Perez in the quarterfinals. And the other quarterfinal will be between the Italian athlete and between Omar Hayward from Bermuda. So that's an interesting matchup for those quarterfinals. For the other quarterfinals, we're still awaiting the final result of this game. Chris now has one ball left, so I don't see any possibility how he can get back in this game. The other pool has been won by Alvaro Cascales, so it means that he's going to play Bart van der Veen in the quarterfinals, and Roman Saidak will play Panagiotis Solanis from Greece, the foot player. So that will be an interesting matchup for the quarterfinals. I can tell you when they're gonna happen. That will be today at 5 o'clock. So at 5 we will have the BC1 male quarterfinals together with the BC3 male quarterfinals. The BC3s will be on the live stream. So if you want to follow BC1 later today, go to worldboccia.io. There you can follow all the live scores. Or find a friend who will stream the game for you, but we will be showing BC3 this afternoon. Still a lot of games going on before that. We're seeing the last few balls of Saidak. He doesn't need to play them to win. He already won the game. He already won the pool. But he's still trying to get an extra point in there. And who can blame him? He came all the way from Czech Republic to play here. So now that he's on court, he can just as well play those balls and make his result maybe look a little bit nicer. Yeah, he pushes that red one. Nice shot. It's probably scoring. Asking the referee. And there's space now to get another one in there. Not like that. Last try. Last ball. And the referee there indicates the final score, and it's 2 for red. So this game ends in a 6-0 victory for Roman Saidak from Czech Republic, thereby winning the pool. And as I said, he's going to play Panagiotis Solanis in the quarterfinals. That should be an interesting game, but we will broadcast other games. Next roundup is going to be BC3 male and BC4 female, and we're going to have a BC4 female match on this court between the Ukrainian athlete Natalia Konenko and Narmin Agayeva from Azerbaijan. At 12 that game will start, so make sure that you're there, and we will cover it live. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you later in the competition. Bye bye.